The Galactic Military Academy had stood for 3,000 years on the crystalline plains of Arcturus Prime, training the finest warriors from across 100 species. Its obsidian towers pierced the violet sky, a monument to martial excellence that had never, in all its long history, admitted a human dot until she arrived on a transport shuttle that looked embarrassingly primitive next to the sleek vessels of the Valorian Empire and the bioships of the Kresh Collective. The Academy's commandant, a towering Thraxian named Vorsak, watched through the observation deck as the human female descended the boarding ramp. She was small, barely reaching the chest height of most species, present with dark hair pulled into a practical bun and eyes that seemed to absorb everything around her. This is the human? Vorsak's mandibles clicked in what might have been disappointment. She looks fragile. Appearances deceive, Commandant, replied Oliver, the Academy's human liaison officer. He was one of only 3 humans in the entire sector, assigned here after humanity had finally achieved faster-than-light travel 2 years prior. I've reviewed her file. You might want to reserve judgment. Vorsak snorted, a sound like grinding stone. A species that only recently left their own star system, sending a female to our academy? This is either courage or stupidity. Oliver smiled, but said nothing. He'd learned that lesson the hard way. The first test came within hours. All new cadets, regardless of species, faced the gauntleted combat simulation designed to assess baseline capabilities. It had been calibrated over centuries to challenge every known species' strengths. The Thraxians with their armored hides, the Keshari with their telepathic coordination, the mechanically augmented Severin, all had their measure taken here. Eva stood in the preparation chamber, surrounded by cadets who towered over her. A Valorian cadet, his blue skin gleaming with bioluminescent patterns, looked down at her with something between pity and amusement. Human, you should withdraw, he said, not unkindly. The gauntlet has hospitalized warriors twice your size. Your species is not ready for this. Eva looked up at him, her expression neutral. I appreciate the concern. I'll manage. The simulation chamber materialized around her, a hostile alien jungle with gravity twice Earth's standard, toxic atmosphere, and combat drones programmed with centuries of tactical data. The observation gallery filled with instructors and senior cadets, most coming to witness what they assumed would be a brief and educational failure. Simulation began. Eva moved. What happened next would be analyzed in tactical courses for years to come. While other species relied on their natural advantage's strength, speed, armored hides, or technological augmentation, Eva did something different. She adapted. Where a Thraxian would have charged through obstacles with brute force, Eva found paths around them. Where a Keshari would have used telepathy to coordinate with allies, Eva anticipated drone patterns through pure observation. Her small size became an advantage, slipping through defenses designed for larger opponents. Her seemingly weak physique proved deceptive human muscles, evolved under Earth's gravity, gave her explosive strength in brief bursts, but it was her mind that truly shocked them. Eva didn't just react to the simulation. She predicted it, exploited it, turned its own logic against itself. When 3 combat drones cornered her in a canyon, she used a plasma charge to trigger a rock slide, then rode the debris downward, using the chaos as cover. When the toxic atmosphere began affecting her, humans required breathing apparatus in this environment. She didn't retreat. She modified her route to move through areas where the simulation's weather patterns would temporarily clear the air. 17 minutes and 32 seconds later, Eva emerged from the simulation chamber. Her breathing was heavy, sweat soaked her uniform, and a cut above her eyebrow trickled blood. But she was standing. The gallery was silent. Check the scores, someone whispered. The simulation didn't just measure completion, it analyzed efficiency, creativity, resource management, and tactical innovation. Ava's score appeared on the holographic display, 96.3. The previous record, held by a Kishari battle prodigy, was 91.7. Borsak's mandibles hung open. Around the gallery, cadets and instructors alike stared in disbelief. The Valorian cadet who had warned Eva earlier bowed his head in respect, his bioluminescent patterns shifting to colors that signified acknowledgement of a superior warrior. Oliver, watching from the back of the gallery, allowed himself a small smile. Over the following weeks, Eva continued to shatter expectations. In zero-gravity combat, her species' unusual proprioception, refined through millennia of tree climbing and tool use, gave her an edge. In strategy simulations, she demonstrated a uniquely human form of lateral thinking that blindsided opponents who had trained their entire lives in conventional tactics. In endurance tests, her persistence became legendary humans, it turned out, were persistence hunters on their homeworld, capable of outlasting nearly any prey through sheer determination. But perhaps most shocking was her effect on the other cadets. Oliver watched as Ava formed study groups that included species who had been historical enemies. She asked questions that made instructors reconsider tactics they'd used for centuries. She treated every species with the same respect, never assuming superiority despite her growing reputation. How does she do it? Vorsak asked Oliver one evening, watching Eva help a struggling Kresh cadet with combat forms in the training yard. Humans are adaptable, Commandant, Oliver replied. We didn't have claws or armor or telepathy. We survived by learning, by adapting, by never giving up, and by working together. She is one individual, Vorsak observed. If humanity produces more like her, we do, Oliver interrupted gently. She's not exceptional for a human, Commandant. She's exceptional because she's here, and she's had the chance to prove it. Imagine what humanity could contribute if we were truly welcomed into the galactic community. Vorsak's mandibles clicked thoughtfully as they watched Eva laugh at something the Kresh cadet said. The sound carrying across the training yard, a sound that was becoming increasingly common in the Academy's ancient halls. The Galactic Military Academy had stood for 3,000 years, training warriors from across the stars. But it had taken one small human female, unexpected and unmatched, to teach them that talent comes in forms they never anticipated, and that the newest species in the galaxy might just have the oldest wisdom of all the understanding that adaptation, determination, and cooperation could overcome any obstacle the universe presented. Eva had stunned the Academy. Simply by being human. And the galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. And